What do you do when you're done with the quilt, but you see a few dark threads stuck under the light background fabric? Hi, I'm Elena, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I get rid of those dark threads under the light background fabric after my quilt is already finished, it's already quilted and bound. This way, you won't have to stress about it, even if you forgot to clip them off. I trimmed them after every single block. I trimmed them when my quilt top was done. I made sure I had no dark threads sticking out before my quilt went to the long armor. And those threads still showed up. Sometimes, even if I had no threads, when I came back from the long armor, those threads came out after I washed my quilt. So, if you're looking to remove those threads, but not stress about it, then this video is for you. But before we get started, remember to click the subscribe button and click that notification bell. This way, you'll be notified of any future videos that I will post, and you'll help our quilting community grow. And if you'd like a free quilt pattern, check out my website. Let's get started. Sometimes when you're done with a quilt and you have finished the binding and you are admiring your work, you notice that there are a few threads from the color fabric peeking from under the background. And you can kind of see them right here. And what do you do after your quilt has already been bound? Well, this will happen no matter how much you trim your threads. So do your very best to trim all the threads before you take them to the long armor or before you long arm your quilt by yourself. But after your quilt is already done, and even years after washing, you're still going to see some of these threads peeking through. I'm going to show you how to get rid of them. So let me zoom in so you get to see these threads a little bit better. And I'm going to show you what tools that I use. The most important thing that I found and that I'm using is going to be this 0.5 millimeter crochet hook. It's the smallest hook ever. And you can just get this on Amazon. It is a very small crochet hook. So that's what I'm going to use to pull the threads out. Next, I'm going to use tweezers. These are my Tula Pink tweezers, and I like the angle of them because it allows me to pull the threads from the bottom of my quilt. And I'm also going to use applique scissors. You can use regular scissors if you want, but you'll see that by using applique scissors, it allows me to get closer to the bottom of the quilt without actually getting my fingers in the way. So let's get started. First, you have to identify where is your thread coming from. So my pink threads right here are clearly coming from my pink fabric. So what I'm going to do is try to trace my thread. It's going from here all the way to there. So at the base, I'm going to gently insert my crochet hook. And if it doesn't fit, I know that there are crochet hooks that are 0.25 millimeters as well. I was unable to find one. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm gently going to pull out the pink thread. It's very easy to pull into your binding fabric as well. So just rotate your crochet hook until that pink thread is peeking out. And once you have just a little bit peeking out, try to use your tweezers to pull out. When you're doing this, make sure you're only pulling on the pink thread because it is quite common to actually damage the top of your quilt. It's very possible. And your thread is out, but as you can see, I have a little bit of fluff here. This is a little bit of batting that is sticking through. I want to make sure it's batting. And using my applique scissors, I'm going to get as close as possible without actually cutting into my backing fabric, background fabric. And then you can just use your fingernail and smooth out that hole. And you can continue to do this for all the other threads peeking out. have a lot of threads here. Nope, I pulled the backing instead of a thread. Oopsie daisy. There we go. Now once you have these holes, they will go away with a little bit of steam if you want, or when you're washing your quilt next, or you can just manipulate the fabric with your finger and it'll smooth out the fibers again. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the comment section below. And don't keep it a secret, share it with your fellow quilters. I would love to see how this method worked for you. All the tools that I used to make this video are linked in the description box below. Remember to sign up for my email list to get a free quilt pattern and behind the scenes peeks. Until next time, keep those machines sewing, embrace the wonky seams, and most importantly, have fun. Happy quilting!